कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन भज जन रंजना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. So we are seeing the 42nd, the last verse of 10th chapter. अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन, विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्। अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन, विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत् अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्
अथवा बहुनैतेन
किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्
अथवा
बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्
अथवा
बहुनैतेन
किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन
विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत् माताजी अथवा बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत् बहुनैतेन किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम् एकांशेन स्थितो जगत् Synonyms: अथवा or bahuna many, etena by this kind, kim what, jnatena by knowing, tava your, Arjuna O Arjuna, Vishtabhya pervading, aham I, idam this, kritsnam entire, eka by one, amshena part, sthitah am saturated, jagat universe. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Purport. It's a little lengthy purport, so please stay with us. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by His entering into all things as the Super Soul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Super Soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. There is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Supreme Goal. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein, because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than Him. He is asamauddha, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. In the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with the demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, becomes at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of these opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Shri Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the super soul, who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees therefore concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the way pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Sri Baladeva Vidyabhushana, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying, Yat Chakti Leshat Suryadya Bhavanti Ati Ugra Tejasah Yad Amshena Dhritam Vishram Sa Krishno Darshame Archayit. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Krishna is worshipable. So, this is the end of the chapter. Om Adnyan Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Hare Krishna. So before I start, let me first seek everybody's shelter. Though I am not qualified to be in this Vyasasana, I have been asked to occupy it, which I really feel very honored, but this comes with a lot of responsibility that we have to only repeat the words of our acharyas. And the whole objective of sitting here and talking is to purify ourselves. So that's all I'm doing. And please forgive me if I commit any error. And whatever Prabhuji said about us, kindly ignore. We are simple practitioners of Krishna consciousness and just trying to progress and really failing to do so, because it is really very difficult, and we come here just to recharge our batteries with all of you, recharge our enthusiasm with all the great Vaishnavas, the devotees. I see them every week here, and that is the only reason we can, that is the only way we can progress. So taking your permission, I will just speak a few words on this verse. So this is kind of a culmination of the 10th chapter. We've seen entire 10th chapter, which is the opulence, which describes the opulences of Krishna. A very important chapter because it has got the Chatushloki Gita, which is the summary of the entire Gita. It is the heart of the entire Bhakti Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. So many things that Krishna has explained in this chapter, so many opulences that we saw. So I will do two things here. I'll just quickly go through the explanation of this particular verse, and we will also kind of recap the entire 10th chapter. And I'm not a great storyteller, so I may not be able to entertain, but I will just speak whatever comes to my mind, and then we will quickly see, if the time permits, we'll quickly see what we have understood through the purport of this shloka. So this is a quick summary of the last few shlokas of 10th chapter. I don't want to repeat the entire 10th chapter. Krishna is talking in this particular shloka about a couple of things, about 3 to 4 major highlights that he is talking about. And we'll see how and what he is exactly meaning, and what inference, what interpretation that we should take from here. So basically, Krishna is talking about the super soul. He is the super soul entering into everything. He is in every one of us. He is there in all the animate, inanimate, all the things. Krishna is present through his expansion as a super soul. So it is the super soul which drives the entire universe, which drives us, which drives every living being. It gives us the energy that we need, the material energy, and that's how Krishna is running the entire universe. We think we are running the universe, but it's Krishna who's running the universe. किसी को हिंदी इंग्लिश किसी को समझ में नहीं आ रही है? किसी को हिंदी में अनुवाद चाहिए? हरे कृष्ण. So therefore Lord tells Arjuna, no point understanding. कृष्णा कह रहे हैं कि आप ये सब जान लो, समझने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि इतना एक समझना काफ़ी है that I am in everything. 1 minute, let them organize. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have the entire purport in Hindi also if you want. If you want me to read it again, the Hindi one. Okay. Yeah. So Krishna is very simply telling us that I told you about all the opulences. I told you about as a fraction. In a fraction of all my opulences, but you don't have to really spend time understanding it. All you need to understand is I am the one in everything. I am the super soul. I am there in everything, and because of me the whole universe has been running. It is created and it has been running. What one should know is all the things from Brahma to the small ant this is what Prabhupada is saying, are existing due to Krishna entering them as a super soul. Also, this slok talks about Krishna's supreme position. This slok talks about the position of the demigods and the position of Krishna. We all know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is saying there is a mission, there is a group of people who propagate something different regarding demigods. That demigods, through the worship of demigods, we can reach Krishna. But Prabhupada has a different view altogether. He says, Krishna is asama urdhva. Asama means there is nobody who is equal to him, and urdhva is nobody above him. So he is above everything. He is the asama urdhva. And why demigods are not to be worshipped? It's a very simple thing. Because during the explanation of the opulences, Krishna has said, out of the demigods I am Shiva. So Brahma and Shiva, they already are only fractions of Krishna. So why should we worship the fractions? Why not worship the entire? And Srila Prabhupada has repeatedly told us, why do we plant water the leaves of the plant? We should water the roots of the plant. So if we worship Krishna, there is no need to worship the demigods. So the proposition that we worship demigods to reach Krishna is not right, is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. We should directly approach Krishna, or rather we should directly worship Krishna. And how do we do it? By thoroughly studying his opulences. Only if we understand the constitutional position of ourselves and the constitutional position of Krishna, we will understand Krishna, and that is the only way we can get away from the demigod worship. Padma Puran says, if one considers Krishna equal to demigods, one immediately becomes an atheist, because you do not believe in Krishna. Your focus, your belief is in the demigod. So that is what Padma Puran is saying, that you will become atheist. Why atheist? Because if you are not worshipping Krishna, then that means you are not accepting his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, the demigod worship perspective in this particular slok, worship of demigods is discouraged by Srila Prabhupada here. Because Krishna is saying, I am the one who is in everything. So in the demigods also, Krishna is present. Because all demigods are but parts of Krishna's universal opulence. They are all parts. Krishna is the only whole, all pervading. Srila Prabhupada in one of the purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says, we are not all pervading. We pervade only in our bodies. We cannot pervade in anything else. Only Krishna pervades in everything. So he is the only all pervading entity and nobody else, not even the demigods. By understanding Krishna's expansive energies and opulence, one can fix his mind in the exclusive devotion of Krishna without any deviation. So the whole idea is to understand what is Krishna, to understand his opulences, and to accept that he is the supreme. But Krishna says you don't need to understand all this, just believe that I am supreme. In this particular shloka, Krishna is saying, what is the use of understanding all my opulences? Just believe that I am the one who is in everything. So he is making it very simple for us, instead of, because all these opulences which Krishna told us about, they are only fractions. They are only not even the tip of the iceberg, because the iceberg is only 7 times larger. Krishna's opulences are, I don't know how many multiples it is large. So he is only explained a very few opulences. So if we really want to understand Krishna, then we'll have to understand millions and brilliance and trillions of opulences of Krishna, which is very difficult. So Krishna is saying, why are you running after understanding all this? Just know that I am there in everything. That's very simple, because our buddhi is limited. We are all products of Maya Devi. We are all products of this Kali Yuga. So our buddhi, we are all manda buddhi. So we have no capacity, no brains to understand the opulences of Krishna. So better trust what he is saying and go with him. What ultimately will take us towards Krishna is the pure devotion. So pure devotion comes again from knowing him as the supreme. That's all we need to know. We don't need to know all the opulences. And what is the bottom line of the shloka? Truly understanding Krishna's greatness leads one to wholeheartedly worship and serve him and unwavering devotion. Also, this shloka talks about his one fragment getting into the entire universe. One fragment of Krishna getting into entire universe. Just imagine how many universes he is creating, and we are, what are we of, what is our position? Millions and billions of universes. Out of that, we are one of them, and then we are one earth. Then we are one country, one city, one house. How tiny we are! How tiny! What are we? Again, we are a soul. What is the size of a soul?
1/10,000 of a
1/10,000th of a tip of the hair. So, why are we trying to understand Krishna? We should only know that he is the supreme. Period. That makes our life very simple, very easy. So, this shloka says, Ekamshena sthito jagat. Ekamshem matlab, this is only one fraction of me has created the entire universe. The jagat, the entire universe has been created by one fraction of Krishna. And if we understand that much, we have understood Krishna. Then we don't need to understand so many opulences. Let's now go to the overview of chapter 10. So initially Krishna is saying, I am understood by nobody. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshayah. The greatest of the sages, the demigods, they also don't understand me. This is what Krishna is saying in the very beginning of this chapter. Still he says, you are my friend, I will tell you my opulences. He is very kind, very merciful. And then he is talking about all the qualities and personalities. Buddhi, Jnana, Asammo, Kshama, Satyam, Dhamma. He says all this is coming from me. So it's not only the animate and the inanimate. Even the qualities which have no form, they come from Krishna. And every quality is coming from Krishna. He is only listed a very few here. The results come from Krishna. Yasha, Ayasha. Everything is been listed. Tushti, Tapa, Danam. All these qualities, all these features, they come from Krishna. And they are all created by me alone, is what Krishna is saying. And then we come to the crux of Gita, the summary, the very essence of Gita, which is called the Chatushloki Gita, which we saw in the 4 verses. Krishna has given the entire understanding of Bhakti Yoga, entire understanding of Gita. I will not repeat the whole thing, but the very first part of the 8th slok is relating to the slok that we are studying today, 42nd slok. He says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. This precisely in different words Krishna is saying, Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. I am the source of all spiritual and material things, is what Krishna is saying. And here he is saying, I am the, by my fraction the whole universe is created. Mattas Sarvam Pravartate. It is, everything emanates from me. It comes from me. Isn't it the same meaning? It's almost the same meaning. Iti matva bhajante mam. Those who know this engage in my devotional service. Buddha Bhava Samya. Such wise people lovingly worship me. In the second slok of Chatushloki, again Krishna is talking about bhakti and devotional service to Krishna. And those who do that, what does he do? He removes their ignorance by enlightening them with bhakti. And what he is also explaining here, their minds are absorbed in me, which means the smaranam. The pure devotees enlighten one another, so they talk, they do the kirtanam, they do the shravanam. By conversing about me always, that is kirtanam. And thus experience great Tushyanticha Ramanticha. So they enjoy my opulences by discussing within each other. And then he also talks of the pure devotee. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. So he is saying they don't only do worship, they do loving worship to me. And they are satata yuktanam, they are constantly and consistently engaged in the devotional service to me, is what Krishna is saying. And once they do that, I give them the intelligence so that they come back to me. And the last slok of Chatushloki is Tesham Evanu Kampartham. To show them special mercy, I dwell in their hearts, destroy darkness born of ignorance with the shining lamp of knowledge. So this is basically the Chatushloki Gita, which again is the summary, which is the very essence of entire Gita. Then we come to Krishna's authorities, and then Arjuna is accepting the authority of Krishna, and then he is saying, okay, tell me about your opulences. So he is wanting to know the opulences of Krishna, not for himself, but for those who are ignorant. So he has already accepted Krishna as his a spiritual master, as his guru, but he wants everybody to get benefited. So he is asking for the various opulences of Krishna, and he is accepting here that you are the Param Brahma, Param Bhava, Param Dham, Pavitram, Param Idam. So he is accepting Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but again requesting him to show his opulences. And then Krishna in the later verses talks of, as I said, some fractions of his opulences in various categories. So he talks of what is he in the demigods, what is he in the various kings and humans, animals, nature, qualities, law, Vedic mantras. Last time Namavatar Prabhu had done the quiz for everybody, and he only got the prize. So I am inspired, Namavatar Prabhu, I will also do one quiz so that I will get some prize. So the conclusion of the chapter 10 is what? How to concentrate your mind on Krishna. By understanding his opulences, by knowing about him, and by accepting that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are all fractions of him. We are all only supported by him as a super soul in us. And what can take us to him? The devotional service and worship of Krishna, as told in the Chatushloki Gita. The highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Lord. In the chapter 10 helps us to fix our mind on Krishna. And Baldev Vidyabhushan is also mentioned in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. He is quoted Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan, who says, from Krishna's potent energy even the sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion the whole world is maintained. Therefore Krishna is worshipable. And how does Krishna do that? Through his fractions, through the Purushas. I will not get into this very technical philosophical discussion. He does that through the Purush avatars, that he enters, he creates the universes, then he enters all the universes, and then he enters every individual entity as Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So what is the takeaway of the chapter 10? Takeaway is simple. Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is in everything. So whatever we see, whatever we feel, whatever we do, we should always keep it at the back of our mind that Krishna is there in that. So whenever we interact with somebody, whether he is an animate or inanimate thing, even if we are interacting with a inanimate thing, we should know it's a part of Krishna. So that will change our approach towards everything in life, and that will also build our faith in Krishna. Because even right now we feel so many things we are doing. We have that feeling of being a doer. So if we really want to get rid of this feeling of being a doer, we have to always keep the 10th chapter in mind, that it is Krishna who's there in everything, and it is Krishna who's driving everything. It's not us. Super soul in daily life. Krishna accompanies us as the super soul in our heart, witnessing and guiding from within. So this is also a very important aspect. We have a super soul sitting inside, and he is watching us like the two birds. He is watching us, he is watching our actions, and he is also watching our feelings, which we don't even speak out. Even if we have a feeling inside our mind, or we have a thought It is known by him. It is known to him. So, if this feeling is there always with us, we will never think of anything that is not right, anything that is against Krishna consciousness. We will never have that thought in mind, knowing well that the super soul is watching all that. And finally, as I said, the exclusive devotion to Krishna is what is intended from this particular chapter. We should abstain ourselves from demigod worship as much as possible, and for the simple logics which have been told to us by Krishna himself and by our acharyas, they have explained why we should stay away from the demigod worship, because they are fractions, parts and parcels of Krishna, like we are. They are also parts and parcels of Krishna. So why worship them? Why not worship the Father himself? Why not worship the originator? Why worship the products? So that's the conclusion of chapter 10. A couple of references. This particular shlok is so important. It has been quoted many times, many places. I'll also show you. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has repeated as it is, the entire shlok. So here in the teachings of Lord Kapila, in the 15th text, our position has been discussed. As we discussed, what is the size of a soul. So we should understand what are we. We are again a fraction, and our size is so that we do not have any source to measure that physically, the size of the soul. We are unable to even see that size of soul. I'm sorry, the font size is very small, because the whole thing I wanted to put in one slide. But I really don't want you to read the entire thing. What we need to read is been underlined. The universe is situated on the strength of one part of Krishna's yogic powers. So the entire universe is situated on one small part of Krishna's powers. And our identity is as a smallest particle in this entire universe, and that we should understand. What is our constitutional position? Presently, we are identifying with the body, but as long as we do, we are no better than the cats and dogs. This is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. We are no better than cats and dogs, although we may have a considerable amount of scientific knowledge. So no matter how much material knowledge that we have, if we are not aware of our constitutional position, and if we are not aware of the position of Krishna, then we are not aware of anything. We are totally ignorant. As I said, this shlok is so important. It has been repeated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is repeated as it is. You see, it is repeated second time. You see, the number is changed. It is repeated 2 times in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is so important that we understand the position of Krishna. And Krishna trying to tell us that you only understand me, you don't have to understand all my opulences. No need. Don't waste your energies into understanding all the opulences. You only understand that I am the one whose fraction is enough for running the entire universe. In the 14th chapter, again, there is this slok which is again similar, which says, I am the Bija Pita. I am the seed of all the jivas in this world. So again, I'm trying to see the similarities everywhere, and This explanation that Krishna is only Krishna's fraction is responsible for the entire universe. This references come, I think, 1,000 times in our scriptures. In Bhagavatam also there have been number of references where it is mentioned that Krishna is the all-pervading entity of all the universes. So if you want to really consult every single reference, it will take a long time. Again in Brahma Samhita it says aham hi vishwasya characharasya bijam pradhanam prakriti pumamsya maya hitam teja idam bibharshi vidhe vidhi tomatho jaganti. So in Brahma Samhita it is said, I am the seed, that is the fundamental principle of this world of animate and inanimate objects. I am the Pradhan, the substance of matter. I am Prakriti, material cause, and I am Purusha, efficient cause. This fiery energy that belongs specially to the Brahman that inheres in you has also been conferred by me. It is by bearing this fiery energy that you regulate this phenomenal world of animate and inanimate objects. So I'm just trying to reproduce the number of references where we see that Krishna is all pervading. Krishna is he is present in everything as a fraction. So now, as promised, I have come to the quiz. Not too many questions, but this is purely based on the purport that we read, this particular shloka's purport. What does Ekamshena Sthito Jagat mean? Okay, good. Who is the super soul?
Well, these questions for them or for us?
It's the what is it said? The buzzer round. Whoever, all the toppers, okay, this is for the 10th and 12th. If they cannot answer, they'll not get the certificates today. Okay. You are banned from answering. Okay, good. It is B. Good, Sitish. Okay, why is the demigod worship discouraged? B or D? In the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods like Brahma or Shiva. Oh, I should have actually thought of some difficult questions. Good. So after this quiz, we will have one small story which Srila Prabhupada had mentioned in one of his lectures. Very simple thing, very simple story. There was a beggar, and one very rich person comes across him. He understands the condition of the beggar, and he gives him a check. He gives him a bank check. The beggar does not know what to do with this check. So what he does, he goes home and frames it and continues living as a beggar because he doesn't know what to do with that check. So one day one person comes to his house and he sees, oh, there is a check and there is a phenomenal amount written on this check. He says, why don't you take this check to the bank? You will get the actual money. And then the beggar says, okay, let me try. And then he goes to the bank and bank gives him all the money. And now he has become rich. So this is a story told by Srila Prabhupada. So what do we know from this? We are all beggars and we have been given Harinam as a check. We don't know what to do with that and we just frame it. Sometimes we pray, sometimes we remember it, sometimes we just pay our obeisances, but we are not encashing it. We are not taking it to the bank. So let's take that check, go to the bank, because that is all we need to know as a Manda Buddhi Jiva of this Kali Yuga. We really don't need to get into so much of philosophy, because that will confuse us more if we don't hear it from the right disciplic succession. And there is a lot to know about Krishna. It will never end. It will never end in this lifetime. So what we should know is our constitutional position and the position of Krishna and the importance of Harinam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the biggest check our gurus and our acharyas have given us. And with hundreds and thousands of references, why it is so important in Kali Yuga. Still, we don't understand, we don't realize the importance of it. We sometimes chant, we chant every day, but we sometimes chant thinking that will this really help me? Am I getting real pleasure in chanting? I'm not focused on chanting. All these thoughts keep coming. Many times we are chanting and then we are doing something somewhere. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. We are doing some work. So our mind is somewhere else. So we are actually not encashing this check. And unless we do that, we'll remain beggars. Not for this lifetime, millions of lifetimes will remain like that, despite having that check in our hands. So let's promise ourselves that we will encash this check. And we all know Krishna's name are not different. So Krishna is there in his name itself. So let's concentrate, and that's the only simple thing that we can do in this life, given that most of us are grihasthas, we've got our own material obligations, material responsibilities. We have limited time. We celebrate always. That day also I was talking to Prabhuji. Whenever we celebrate anybody's birthday, actually we should not be celebrating it. We should become sad because we lost 1 year. We are 1 year shorter in our sadhana. So we have limited resources. We are in this Kali Yuga, which is totally against a sadhak in a way, because there are so many distractions. So the only thing we can do is follow what he said. Just take this process of Krishna consciousness and your progress and advancement of spiritual life is guaranteed. Srila Prabhupada has given an open guarantee. I don't think any other individual, any company gives guarantee of their product the way he has given so confidently. Just take Harinam and your progress is guaranteed. And that's all we have to do. Rest, our sadhana will continue, but we have to focus on our on the chanting. That is the basis, that is the foundation of the entire sadhana. If that is not perfect, then the whole thing is dicey, whole thing is shaky. It will not have a firm ground. I think that's it. Thank you from my side. Hare Krishna. If I have committed any errors, please forgive me. And if there are any questions, queries, I will try to answer. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, just one comment. I came a bit late because of Prasadam service. I did not hear the full lecture, but I was there towards the end. So I'm just sharing, Prabhu, one of the things which I learned from someone else in this call. So the analogy given was that whatever we are doing, like the Shravanam, Sadhu Sangha, everything is like a fertilizer to grow our chanting. So the main, the tree is chanting, and everything that we do helps us grow our chanting, and that is the Harinam. So that's, I just want to share that comment. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. We always hear from our acharyas that we have 24 hours of in a day, and our chanting takes about 2 hours. So the remaining 22 hours is for us to prepare for those 2 hours. That is how we should look at it. And these 22 hours, how we lead our lives, how focused our sadhana is, will decide how potent our chanting will be. So what you said is correct, Prabhu. We need to have the study of scriptures, we need to have sadhu sangha, we need to have kirtan, shravan, everything, and then that will build the quality of our chanting. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, if you want to add anything, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Today we are enjoying really. Prabhuji, just I want to know further more about the word Asama Urdhva. So this word is from Bhatma Purana, Prabhuji, or from other place?
It is mentioned in the purport. It is from Padma Purana. Asama means sama is equal, asama is not equal. Urdhva is above, adho is below. So Krishna is asama urdhva, means Krishna is not equal to anybody. Nobody is equal to Krishna. Asama. And nobody is also above him. Nobody is urdhva. So nobody is above him. Which means he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the super soul. He is the supreme. Therefore, why this word has come? Because we should not focus our energies, our sadhana, to a wrong point, like the demigods. Demigods are not equal to Krishna. They are not above Krishna. So why spend our energy in worshipping demigods? And in that context, this word has been used. And so we, again, like the examples, we should plant, we should water only the root of the tree. Krishna is above everything. If we worship him, everything is taken care. So there is no need of worshipping the. So it is basically to discourage the demigod worship.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Because this line is very important for these people. Holy book, the first line itself the same meaning.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Hare Krishna.
Great. Any other comments? Any thoughts? Any thoughts from your side? Grace Ranchod Krishna, anything from you?
I'm so lucky that he has no question today for me.
So, I'd like to thank His Grace Sanatana Prabhuji. So many wonderful combinations and just nice references, as well as the quiz at the end that really made this particular session very interactive. I'd like to thank His Grace Prabhu and Krishna Mataji for making such wonderful session today. Let's do that by taking the shelter of Pranam, chanting one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Prabhu, I'll just run the Srikara video for those who